Hey guys, it's Ted Bogard. Welcome back to the Ted Show. I'm here with one of my favorite human beings on the planet, the one and only Michelle Sperzel. She is with
Hello.
Harbor House of Central Florida. We're going to talk about domestic violence awareness month, Purple Door Luncheon, their 100-mile challenge,
Yeah.
Halloween decorations, Christmas decorations, so much amazing things that Michelle and her team do in our community. Welcome back, Michelle. How you doing today?
I'm fantastic. And it's just even better because I'm spending time with one of my favorite people. So
I
hello,
love
Ted.
spending time with you. I think your energy is just so needed in this community, and especially in the domestic violence arena. It is it's an epidemic, and we are happy that we have such a powerful team in Central Florida to help at least assuage some of that.
Yeah. When you talk about powerful team, it's not just Harbor House. I mean, it's law enforcement. So it's Sheriff Mina, it's Chief Smith. It's going to be also Chief McKinley up here in Apopka. It's going to be the state attorney's office, the clerk of court. There's so many people who work really hard, all of the different judges, all the different people who work together to make sure that we're able to help survivors.
And you do so much. So let's talk about that. Tell them a little bit about you, and then let's talk about Harbor House and the services that Harbor House provides.
So for Harbor House, we are the certified domestic violence center that's right here in Orange County. And so when people think about a domestic violence center, they think about an emergency shelter. We absolutely have an emergency shelter. It's 120 beds, and we are actually expanding it. And so in a few weeks, we're going to be talking more about that. We also have our emergency hotline. And so that's where someone can call to receive services over the phone. It's all 24/7, anonymous. We have certified advocates that are there to be able to answer questions for people, not just someone who's seeking services, but someone who might be worried about someone that their friend, their family member, their brother, sister, mother, whatever, can call and be able to help find out more about what is domestic violence. Is this person in need? Am I a survivor of domestic violence? How do I help navigate it? And then we also have a lot of different offices out in the community. I want to highlight we have an injunction for protection program where we have attorneys that will help individuals file injunctions. So, say for instance, you call our emergency crisis line and you say, I want to file an injunction. That advocate can make an immediate referral to one of our attorneys for them to be able to reach out and help you give legal advice when it comes to the injunction, and then also possibly represent you. We also have advocates that are at the courthouse. And so, like I said, the clerk of court is a big partner. And those advocates will work specifically with individuals to help them file the injunctions. They will go to court with them as well. So that's another great program that we have. And then we also have advocates that are located to help with peer support. We do support groups. We help with safety planning. So a lot of different things as far as crisis intervention. And then the other side of our house would be our prevention work, where we're out in the community. We're in the local middle schools and high schools. We're working with teen court, and we're really working with kids that have experienced domestic or violence and violence in their home. Or we're working with kids to help them so that they don't ever experience a domestic violence relationship. So that working so that they understand prevention, knowing what a healthy relationship is, understanding healthy boundaries, setting boundaries, reestablishing all of those. And so those are the different things that we do.
It's a lot,
It's a
but
lot.
the thing is that there's a need. Talk about domestic violence and the stats a little bit locally. Have you seen a spike? We've talked several times since the height of COVID. What have you seen in 2023?
So I would have to say we are the busiest that we've been since I've been here at a Harbor House, and I've been here for 7 years. That's one reason why we're looking at expanding our emergency shelter to be able to provide more housing, and that's a really big need, is just housing specifically in our local community. The number of calls that we have been increasing as well. So everybody just, they look at me and I said, the good thing about our numbers going up, that means that people are reaching out for help. And we know when someone works with a domestic violence agency, it doesn't even have to be Harbor House, but if you're working with someone to help you navigate through your situation when it comes to domestic violence, there's a higher likelihood that you're going to get out of that relationship and that you're going to survive that relationship. Because when someone starts to take back the control out of the control of the abuser is when it's incredibly dangerous. And so that's why there are safe shelters. That's why there are advocates to be able to help navigate. That's why we do safety planning. And so that's the big piece along with it.
It's sad, but I understand the positive there, because it's not like the cases weren't there. It's just the cases, they're coming forward more.
Right.
And I 100% believe it's because of the advocacy that you all do and the awareness that you bring. And this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, correct? Now, September. October, which is why I have purple on, by the way. Lots of purple. Everything's purple at this show, but certainly when we're talking about Purple Door Luncheon, which is in October, let's start talking about events, because what I want people to do is understand that there are ways to get involved and help raise awareness and funds and give back that Harbor House offers. And one of those is the 100-mile challenge, which we talked about, Purple Door Luncheon. So let's get into it, because I think that Walk a Mile in Her Shoes is an event. That's really how I got introduced to Harbor House years ago, many years ago. And I just feel like what you do, the outreach that you do, is so important. I want more people to get involved through that.
Well, this is great for me because October is purple. It is purple for me. But it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so it's when the rest of the community decides to really focus on basically domestic violence and also breast cancer. So, I mean, those are the two big things that are happening in October. And so for us, we really want to bring awareness. We bring awareness all year round because domestic violence doesn't take a vacation. But in October, we really want to wrap everybody into the momentum of what it is that is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so this year, we're doing some of the things we normally do, and then we've added some things. So some of the things that we do that we normally do, there's two. It's our Purple Door Luncheon that's going to be on October 5th. It is our largest fundraising event. People can come to it in order to be a part of it, or they can also they can contribute online. We have an online auction that people can really see if they want to participate in that way. The other event that we have is we have Purple Tie Tuesday. It's the third Tuesday. Actually, this month, it's going to be the fourth Tuesday. It's the 24th of the month, so Purple Tie Tuesday, and we encourage people to wear purple that day, wear a purple tie. So those are the two things that we normally do. What we are adding this year is we're adding an event that's called the 100-mile challenge. And the reason why we're doing that is that it's going to be for 31 days, one cause and for one hope, and that's for us to be able to really share more information about domestic violence, but to honor people who have gotten out, honor people who have lost their lives, and then really to honor people who are going through it and who are completely courageous. And so the idea of it is that we're asking people to join our Facebook event and join a community and talk about what it is that you are doing during this 100 miles. You can be walking it, you can run it, you can paddle, you can bike it, you can horseback ride. Basically, the whole thing is just to really talk about what it is that you're doing while you are doing that walk. Like, are you thinking about somebody? Are you walking with someone who's experienced domestic violence? And to share the stories of why people find this cause. Is it because you were experiencing it as a young child? Is it because you are an adult and you got through it? Is it because you have a sister that you're worried about? Is it because you lost a really good friend to it? So that's what also the community is that we're going to be building. And with the 100-mile challenge, we're doing 5 meetup groups. And they're going to just be like 3-mile walks, very, very easy in the 4 corners of where it is that we serve here in Orange County. So we're going to be doing one in Apaka, one in Winter Garden, one in Lake Nona, one in Winter Park, and then we're going to be doing one downtown as well. And that's also just for us to meet more people who are interested in that physical challenge that goes along with it, but interested in the camaraderie. And so, again, we are doing it as a fundraiser as well. For the first 50 people that raise $100, they're going to get a I Conquered the Challenge shirt. And so you can see that on our Facebook page. But that's another thing we're doing. But it's really about raising awareness and, again, building that community so people can share stories. And because the storytelling and survivors telling their stories is so important so people know that they're not alone.
Agreed. And how do people sign up for that?
And so if you go to Facebook and you go to our page, there's going to be a link to it there and all the directions as far as the 100-mile challenge event.
I love it. I think we've talked about this. I share it all the time. As a childhood domestic violence survivor, and a child abuse survivor. I think that anytime we can bring awareness and talk about it and humanize it and put a face to it, because it's not just the stuff you see on the TV shows. There are real people working next to you, going to church next to you that are suffering through it or have suffered through it. And so anytime we can bring a face to it and bring awareness to it, it's just such a positive, wonderful thing. And we want you all to be able to expand to as many beds as you could possibly need. But in reality, a lot of times this actually gets it open for a lot of people. It might be the first time they've ever admitted that they have a family member or themselves or someone they know has gone through it. And so I love this challenge. So I love that you can go to their Facebook page, which we will have in the comments below, and you can just click that link. That is new, and I'm pretty excited about that. I might take me 7 years to walk 100 miles or whatever it is, but I am committed to it, and I think it's a beautiful movement. Talk about Purple Door Luncheon.
So Purple Door, that is our signature event where we honor different champions for the advocacy that they're doing within their company or in the community. So our champions that we're going to be honoring this year, we're going to be honoring Monica May, and she's been a phenomenal advocate when it comes to domestic violence. And so we're super excited to be able to put a spotlight on her for the different work that she's done. We're also going to be honoring Westgate and Westgate Foundation. Westgate was actually one of the first companies here in Central Florida that added a domestic violence policy to their employee handbook, both for survivors and also to hold abusers accountable. And so they have a really big program when it comes to domestic violence and how they help a lot of their team members who are experiencing domestic violence through their foundation. So they are just a model company when it comes to a lot of things that are happening. And the other champion that we are honoring is totally lost my mind, the last person.
I thought that was just an admission. I think we've all lost our minds.
So we are doing Westgate. Oh my goodness. Who else is it? Oh my gosh. It'll come to me when we're talking about something else. As
Absolutely,
I'm completely but this one is specifically for the oh my gosh, Orlando Magic. There you go. It's Orlando Magic and Orlando Magic Youth Foundation. So there you go. I got there.
That's beautiful.
Super excited because they have done so much work for our youth program. So that's where I got there. We are really focusing this year on the youth that come through our gates and utilize a lot of our services right here on campus. And so when we're talking about Purple Door this year, it's really focused on the kids, because a lot of times when people think about domestic violence, they only think about the two adults in there, that relationship. They don't think about how it impacts the kids. And so that's what our focus is going to be. And our speaker this year is actually an amazing, amazing young man who has been utilizing our Camp Hope program. And so he's going to be the one talking about his experience here at Harbor House and the different things that he's been doing and that the journey that he's on. So I'm really excited about that piece and the youth focused. And we love Orlando Magic has been so great with the youth program specifically. Bo came out here, I want to say several months ago, and he did a lot of work.
Oh, I love Bo Outlaw. How can you not love Bo Outlaw?
Oh my gosh, she's so great. And then also we have a whole nother one thing that we've been able to do with just really thinking through, people stay on our campus for 12 weeks in the emergency shelter. And then we also have our extended stay here where someone might live for a year. And so what we really looked about, and it's all behind our walls. And so it's a very safe area. But at the same point in time, we wanted to create activities for people to do where they felt safe. And so we added a meditation garden in the back part of our shelter. We also have a couple different park areas that have portraits, and we've had artists come in and do kind of like graffiti, like artwork on the wall, and there's picnic tables over there. But the Orlando Magic Youth Foundation, they added an outdoor exercise area for us. And that has been super amazing just to watch people, because everybody heals in different ways. And so, some people heal by being active. Some people heal by just being quiet. And so to create those different spaces here on our campus for our adults and kids has been really, really cool. Another thing that we added is we recently added equine therapy, because people, again, heal in different ways. And so we have a Crossroads Corral that we've been working with, and we have survivors that are going there in order to do therapy with the horses as well. So that's the other part, is just being aware that we are able to provide awareness and also a healing space for people who are experiencing domestic violence. And we only do it because of the amazing network we have here in Central Florida through people like Westgate and Orlando Magic and Monica May and UTED, but also the awareness. And that's why I'm excited about Domestic Violence Awareness Month, because it gives us the chance to really highlight all the partners that we have, all the things that we're doing, and get more people engaged in the amazing work that's happening here.
Amazing work. And then one last thing that we don't want to forget about is some donations. You talked about some donations that are unique. We haven't talked about those before. So, I love this, since we are focusing on kids.
Yes.
And so talk about the donations, because I wouldn't have thought of that. And everybody donates in their own way and gives back in their own way. And I guarantee you somebody's going to be watching this and go, I know exactly what to give them.
Right. So last year, we always donate the inside of the shelter. We always decorate the inside of the emergency shelter for Christmas. And so that was no difference last year. We ended up getting an amazing 12-foot Christmas tree that we were able to put in the emergency shelter, and it was phenomenal. But what we realized is that until someone donated a bunch of inflatables to us, and so we have these giant Mr. and Mrs. Claus donated to us, we've never decorated the outside of the shelter. And again, I'm talking about the fact that we want to have more of a neighborhood, a safe neighborhood feel. So to decorate parts of the outside of the shelter, to me, I was like, why didn't we ever think about this before? So all of a sudden we started putting wreaths on the different doors. We ended up having Mr. and Mrs. Claus out there. But as people are starting to go through all their different things, and if you think about the fact that, like, hey, I want to do a refresh and I have some cool inflatables, like, think about us, because it's going to be for the kids. We do have a 9-acre campus. We have areas that we could put little tiny pop-ups, and that we could really have it be more of a holiday feel. The other thing is that we are going to be decorating for trunk or treat. We're still looking for costumes to be donated for the kiddos. And then also a lot of people are doing more for decorating for Halloween. So, we do have a giant inflatable Mickey candy corn that we're going to be putting out there for the kids for the month. So those are the other things, is like, if you can think of ways that you have things to donate to us in order to make it more of a neighborhood, that'd be fantastic. Otherwise, getting engaged, as Ted mentioned, October's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. If you're interested in something like the 100-mile challenge, go for it. If that's not you, just wear purple on the 24th of October. We also are starting to plan for our Pause for Peace walk, which is going to be in April. We have Walk a Mile, which is going to be in February. So those are different ways to get engaged with us. If you're looking to basically support or adopt a family for the holidays, think about Harbor House. We do have a program called Gifts of Hope, where we match families with families. Some of our families are families of 10, and we want to make sure that everybody in that family gets something. So if you think about that, that would be another one. We're doing a big gift card drive for food, grocery cards like Winn-Dixie or Publix, for us to be able to include those in our holiday bags this year. So those are different ways that we are looking for donations that are really tied to the end of the year. So even a donation of $25 or $20 in the Publix gift card is amazing to us, so that we can put it into a food bag for somebody come Christmas time or come the holiday season. So those are the different ways to get engaged.
So much you all do so much. And your energy, I love your energy. Usually we're in person doing this, but it's just been crazy.
I know. And then we spin up. We're like,
It's always so good, but we need you all to be that kind of positive, because what your residents and your the victims and everyone that are dealing with on the other side, they need that love and support and that positivity that you guys show. So what's the best way they can reach you or reach out and get involved? Is it the Facebook page? Is it the website? All of the above?
All of the above. And so, definitely, if you want to get involved right away, you can always reach out to Harbor House at contact@harborhousefl.com. You can always go to our Facebook page, send an instant message. You can find us on X.
I still have a hard time saying that, but yes, X. It just sounds funny. Twitter, formerly known as Twitter.
Yes.
You're amazing. Your whole team is amazing, and it's always a blessing to have you on. somebody in your life has been touched by domestic violence. So get out and get involved and give back. It is just a growing issue. At least it's coming out that more and more people are accessing the services. There used to be such a stigma against it. I've talked about that on the show before as a childhood survivor. And so to be able to find services where there's just this constant spirit of giving back and trying to improve their lives and get them out of that, it's just such, you all are such a blessing in the community, Michelle.
I want to say this though, Ted, you are phenomenal because you talk about the fact that you're a childhood survivor, but I also want to point it out that you're an adult that broke the cycle. Yeah. And that is amazing. And that's the work that we all do together.
Thank you. Amen to that. Thank you. Yes. So love you to pieces. Love everything about Harbor House. You all get involved. The website is scrolling across the bottom, harborhousefl.com, or you can go to their website, Harbor House of Central Florida, I believe. But you can find it through all of the links that we have down in the bottom here. And we want you to get involved, come out and support in any way that you can. You heard Michelle, even some old decorations that work that you could get you're getting rid of as you're cleaning out for Halloween, Thanksgiving, all of that good stuff, Christmas. Please get back. Thank you, Michelle. You're amazing. You're amazing. All right, guys. It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month in October. Let's get behind them and support them every day. We'll see you guys soon.